Best Scenes, the Swordbearer Saga, the Gods of Carnage. Interior Citadel Banquet Hall, night. Corwin hobbles to the king's chair at the table. Ravenwolf sits across from him. Corwin fills 2 flagons and raises his cup.
A toast to having survived another day as King of Zalgara.
Surviving another day?
They tap flagons and drink. Corwin drains his and refills it.
You look like him.
He indicates the portrait of Sylvander behind him.
Ah yes, the noble Sylvander. The first of the Sylvan kings, the father of our house, the greatest warrior. Makes me want to puke.
Having missed the end of your pageant, I feel myself curious as to its outcome.
Well, it ends as it always does, with Sylvander triumphant, and the glory of his line.
I knew Sylvander, and if he were alive today, I think he would tell a different tale.
Well, Black, you must be a very old soul indeed to have known the great man himself, for he's been dead these past 100 years.
Forgive me, young king, I misspoke. What I meant to say was I knew of Sylvander from a man who once served with him in Ravenwolf's army.
Ravenwolf's army? Oh, that is a twist to the tale.
He told me that Sylvander was a mercenary in the service of a defeated king, and that Ravenwolf had been impressed by the skill and courage he had brought to the fight against him, and so offered him a place in his own command.
And who does he claim killed Mordius?
Ravenwolf killed him, in the Dark Tower, in the rain.
And what of Sylvander?
Ravenwolf gave him the crown and rode away.
I think this old soldier was playing you for the fool, Black. The throne of Zalgara is the jewel of the northern kingdoms. What would cause a man to simply walk away from its embrace?
Ravenwolf briefly touches his hand to something under his tunic, near the middle of his chest.
I don't remember. The story was told to me a long time ago when I was still young. Perhaps he was tired, or had come to realize that the power of the Red Throne was an empty vessel into which he had poured his own illusions.
Corwin is about to refill his cup. He pauses before pouring the wine and taking another drink.
So, you fancy yourself a philosopher as well as a warrior? Well, let me give you a word of advice from one who has worn the crown. Stick to the fighting. It seems to be what you're good at.
He drinks deeply. Ravenwolf nods graciously at the insult.
Tell me about the woman in that arena. Who was she?
Glenora, daughter of Griselda, who rules the dragon clans in the eastern mountains. Oh, the long winters have taken their toll on their clan, and so my father, out of his generosity and at the request of one of their own, suffered them the protection and succour of the crown, asking nothing in return beyond their fealty. But Griselda threw his kindness in his face and then murdered him out of it for contempt and spite. But I made them pay. I made them pay dearly. Now, what's left of her clan cower in the mountains of the High Grandine, and she sends her daughter to do that for which she herself lacks the courage.
Corwin pauses to refill his cup and reflect.
Well, I imagine it's a decision she will come to regret. I have had the girl's body hung from the gates of the arena. I think I will leave it there for a while, as a warning to the rest.
That is a fate for criminals and cowards.
That is a fate for any who defy the authority of the crown. She was a rebel daughter of a rebel queen who got exactly what she deserved. If I had my way, I'd cast them all to the mines of Tenerife, where they could toil their lives away with the rest of the traitors.
He pours himself another drink.
I've grown weary of this conversation. I'm tired and my leg hurts. But I have promised you the hospitality of this court. I will have a room prepared, and we will speak again in the morning.
When we entered the courtyard, I saw a window in the east tower that seemed to have a nice aspect. Is there any chance I could be put there?
Corwin studies Ravenwolf warily.
I have a keen eye, Black, but I must confess I find it curious you should pick that room.
How so?
Oh, because it's been empty for more years than I've been alive. The tower is said to be haunted by the spirit of a man once killed there.
Who?
A baron from the north named Strabo. He was the last High Lord before Sylvander.
Flashback, interior Citadel hallway night. Several guards try to break through a heavy oak door.
They say he was in the room alone, the door locked, when his guards heard the sound of swords from within.
Interior Citadel tower room night. Baron Strabo, bearded and brutish, struggles with an unseen assailant who has his hand around the Baron's throat. The assailant lifts Strabo up with one hand, snatches a knife from the Baron's belt, and drives it into his chest. In the hallway, the guards break the door's lock and rush into the room.
By the time they broke in, he was already dead, pinned to the door with his own knife, and the room was empty.
Inside the tower room, the guards find Strabo impaled on the door and search the room.
You've seen the tower. It's too high to jump, and there's no entrance beyond the one door which opens to the tower stair.
Back inside the banquet room,
The guards said it was watched at all times and swore that no one could have gotten in or out without being seen. Yet there he was, dead all the same, with his spirit imprisoned forever.
Maybe he killed himself.
Killed himself. Killed himself. You're a rare one indeed, Black. Let's forget all this talk of rebels and dragons. If I can find a charwoman, brave enough to clean it, I'll have the room made ready. If you survive the night and my leg is up to it, then we'll take my falcons out in the morning and do some hunting.
he pours them each another drink.
To the ghost of the tower, may he not haunt you in your sleep.
A cruel smile touches Ravenwolf's lips as he raises his cup and